Howdy, y'all. I'm Mr. Holga.
And I'm Todd Puckett.
And this is
Don's
Used Photo Equipment. Right here in front of, and say it with us,
the
Great Wall of Film. Wow, so we have had the ups and downs of the week.
Wow, we have.
It's been another exciting film-tastic week. Speaking of which, though, guys, thanks for watching the last video.
Yes.
That one went through the roof. That was the Shanghai Slaughter, in case you haven't seen it.
There's a part 2 to that somewhere, but it's going to be later.
Well, we have a little something we need to add, but unfortunately, we can't go into that something today because of what we're going to discuss today, right?
Yes. A few days ago, this gentleman came up and I forget, you did something. Oh, you dropped film off.
I dropped film off, yes.
And then
because
you said,
we were going to talk about something else completely different.
And you said, "Did you hear?"
Oh, by the way, did you hear?
And I went, "No." And my mind went 1,000 miles an hour just going, what
and I was shocked that I knew something before he did.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
Shocked, I tell you.
But then I'm grateful and thankful that you did tell me this earlier.
Days in advance.
Days in advance, so I could do some research on it.
Right.
And then I will say that this video will probably be a little bit different than our normal videos because this is a heavy topic.
Oh,
I mean, seriously.
It's
First
a heavy
of all,
subject.
I did research. I prepared.
He did.
And he's scared about that.
Well,
he's concerned.
No, listen, I'm only concerned because he doesn't give me anything else to talk about in this video. And I'm like, oh my goodness, okay.
Yeah, exactly. You said, is there going to be enough to talk about on this?
And he said yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And I said, print these articles out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you what happened.
Okay.
And then you looked at me and go, I don't get it.
Well, I've read the articles.
You read the articles.
I've already read the articles. I might not be making the connection he's making,
he doesn't,
but that's what you're for right now.
He hasn't, but this is the situation.
Okay.
This is the title that is in my mind on this topic.
Mind you, you've already read the title to this video, but he's going to tell us. I'm going to hear it for the first time.
Well, he may change it up. My title is, Has the Success of Pentax 17 Killed the Film Camera Market?
It was too successful. Is that the problem?
It could be.
It too successful?
It was too successful. And we're going to
I think this is a CIA plot.
We're going to dive into this. And I had him print up 4 articles that led me to this conclusion and to this reasoning.
It has been too successful.
Yes. Now, at first, we're going to say, was it really that successful?
All right, so before we dive into this, okay, so let me wind this back a little bit.
Okay.
I came in, thanks, Mork. I came in earlier this week.
Yeah. This is what kicked it all off.
Hey, Todd, did you hear that the lead designer for the Pentax 17 is leaving, and Pentax is saying new Pentax cameras is potentially no bueno, or at least on the Never Never plan?
Well,
that's what set this whole thing off. Now, I had read that article, and so I actually came in loaded with information. So, but yet your sharp and astute minds went down this rabbit hole of mystery and.
There's a side of me that a lot of people don't see, and it's like, dude, I can do research. I can look things up, and I see things other people don't normally see.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's just how I research things. And I went, after he left, I pulled up stories.
Right.
And at this point, all of this was only on the internet news. Nobody had actually done a video on it.
Okay, yeah.
At that point.
Oh, we could be the first
ones. Somebody else has come out and talked about it, but nobody's reached this conclusion.
Probably Japanese camera hunter. He's always beating us to all the good news.
Somebody I didn't know. But it was interesting. So I went and I started, was it Cosmo Photo?
Cosmo Photo or Cosmo Film, whichever one, yeah.
Yeah, it was the first one to come out with this, I believe. First or second one, earliest one that I saw, that came out with this story. And I read through it, and then I saw information in there, and then I picked through other ones that came out later that day or the next day.
Right.
And they were giving information about it. Each one of these articles kind of hit on different topics. So there's no one place that came up with from A to Z.
All the information.
All the information under one title. But you take something here, something here, something here, and then it's like you look at it overall and you come up with, oh, I'm glad I had 2 days to study this.
Well, otherwise we would have been, oh, so sad.
Oh, sad.
Moving on.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
moving
boo-hoo,
on.
Boo-hoo.
Okay, so
Now,
where do we start?
The first place is that whenever the Pentax came...
This feels like a murder mystery now.
It is.
It's a murder.
There's talk outlines over bodies.
Where do we start, Hercule Poirot?
We start June 17th was when, of course I didn't realize this at the time, but June 17th is when they kicked off
Of
Pentax
last year.
17
On the 17th? How did we not see that? Wait. It
June
actually
17th.
launched on the 17th,
June 17th.
and they didn't mention it in any of their publicity, but it was on the 17th. Oh.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sitting there going, oh man, we were blind.
So listen, he said he was going to surprise me with your theory here, but it's like the too successful. But I think that 17 has clearly got me floored more than that. Why did I not see that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there, okay. Now, this one here, Ricoh, this is the thing, and this is the article out of...
So Ricoh's the parent company Ricoh's the parent company for Pentax.
Yes, and the other funny thing about this is the first article is a film-based publication. Everything after that is a digital-based publication.
That's true. The article I read,
the original.
The article I read was from DP Review.
DP,
which I didn't. That's not one of your copies here, but I read from DP Review, which I thought, oh, the irony is that the digital photography review is the one.
Petapixel came out with this
death of this.
back in, oh goodness gracious, July 5th.
Okay.
July 5th.
Yes.
So this is after it's already been introduced, after it's kicked off, and after they've sit there and went, wow, we're out. We said, hello, here it is. Whoops, there it went. It's gone. Now, this is, Ricoh is considering increasing Pentax 17 production to catch up to demand.
So right off the bat,
success.
Can't keep up with the demand. Success.
And we read things such as the launch of the Pentax 17, a brand new half-frame film camera, has been hugely successful for Ricoh, which is the parent company. Hugely successful.
With a capital U.
Yeah. And so much so that the company has been forced to stop accepting orders for it as it scrambles to catch up to the demand.
I don't know, can you be too successful?
This is indicating success.
Success, yes.
Okay.
I think it was a much desired product
that
had been missing for, what they say, 15 to 20 years,
15 to 20 years.
15 to 20 years. What? Well, you know what we need is a new film camera. Well, if somebody would build one.
Bingo.
And somebody did. And boom,
it was
successful.
Successful, even according to the article. So you're sitting there going, okay, what's going on with the last bit of news? Now, we read further, and it says, Ricoh stopped accepting orders for the camera through the web store over 2 weeks ago. July 5th.
Now, this is last year, but we're going to bring you up to date, guys.
June
2024.
5th. I'm sorry, July 5th, 2024. July 5th, 2020. So 2 weeks prior to that was just after it was announced and came out.
He's normally not this passionate, guys. And mind you, I normally have to tweak up his volume a little bit. This time I might have to tweak him down a little bit.
Yeah, so don't marshmallow, man. Ricoh stopped accepting orders for the camera through the web store over 2 weeks ago. And that includes in North America as it attempts to catch production up.
Okay.
Okay, success. Okay, now we go on. And it goes here. Due to the current supply situation, it will take a considerable amount of time to deliver the product.
Okay.
Demand.
Right.
Demand is there. The product is selling faster than...
Flying off the shelves.
Ricoh Imaging Store and other official EC sites will temporarily suspend accepting orders until we have a certain outlook for product supply.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're not wondering if it's going to be a success.
They know it's going to be a success.
They know it's
already a success. They've sold out.
They've sold out, and now they're sitting there going, they're not only have they sell out, they're sitting there going, we're going to have to find more supplies.
Yes.
We're going to have to go back to the beginning and work on the production. We're going to have to supplies, the production. It's successful.
Too successful.
Then a publication, the lead designer, we're just going to go, he goes by TKO, says that Ricoh is considering investing in the ability to produce more cameras so that it can catch up with the demand. So,
crap. Excuse me.
Success. You got it. Cool. No, don't step on it. I was just worried because, anyway, said that Ricoh is considering investing in the ability to produce more cameras so that it can catch up with the demand. So not only are they looking to get more products, they're trying to find more money to do that.
Right.
So more money. Whoops.
No, it's okay. More money.
Well, I can't.
I'm sorry. Takeo Suzuki.
Okay. TKO.
I'm pronouncing it pretty close to the Japanese.
We hope so, yeah. But will not be increasing the price. So they got that. Now, another option a company could use to catch up, higher pricing means reduced affordability and therefore less demand. So they didn't do that. They said, let's try to figure out how we can keep up with the demand.
24-hour shifts at the factory.
Yeah,
that's what we're going to do.
We stuck to the price, and that's that. So
well, I mean, I think the price point of $500 is, it's to push it up higher, but to push it down, you can't. I think that was the right price for it. I mean,
it did hit.
If it was $600, I don't think it would have been as successful.
It would have taken longer. It would have been. But
I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they underpriced it just a little bit.
No, I think they priced it just right. But I think they overpriced it for what they were wanting to do, in my opinion. But this is later on. We're jumping ahead.
One of the things I don't think that they've told us in any of these articles is how many have they made?
No.
I mean, because I would love to know. I mean, if they made 100,000, 200,000,
no,
it'd be nice to know, guys.
Because there's only like 2 or 3 million of like Canon 81. So I mean, that 200,000 would be like a huge number.
All right, maybe they've made 10,000, 20,000, but it would still be nice to know. What's the quantity of Pentax?
It would be, but I don't think that's something they'll tell us.
Hey guys, if you do know the quantity that is made, please put that in the comments below. We would love to know.
Well, this says, as a manufacturer, I wanted to release a new film camera, offer a warranty, and create an environment where people could enjoy them with peace of mind.
Ah, peace of mind.
So they well thought out this product.
Yes.
They well thought out the production, the reasoning behind it, everything that was connected to it. They did a phenomenal job with this.
Oh, thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, there were still some... and mind you guys, we did do a review on this camera.
Yeah.
So obviously go check that review. I'll try and put that link above his head. But go review it. I mean, the fact that it's got 3 different textures on it.
Oh,
it's like, okay.
It's phenomenal.
It's no big deal. But the camera does work very well. And I think one of the other things is I probably said that the flash was probably way underpowered. Like one little AAA battery to power that flash.
It does a pretty good job for what it is, though.
It does do that, but you could only hope that something like that would grow into something better for the next gen or the next the bigger model. But that's where the sadness comes in.
Well, the thing of it is that they did tremendous amount of research for this.
Yes.
And I think they hit everything perfectly. I mean, the product, I think everything that they did, it was beautiful. It was a work of art. Not just the product, but everything behind it.
It's a very nice camera.
It flowed. It was successful, and we'll get to that.
Except it was too successful.
It was very, very successful. Now,
too successful.
Here is the thing right here that we have. Now, this article is March 17th, 2025.
So this is just a couple weeks ago.
I want to make sure I did get these. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have them in order.
No, I have them in order for me. Now, here's where we start. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 8 months later.
So Christmas and stocking stuffers and all that kind of great stuff. There's plenty of these out there in this world right now. And you know what? Now it's the time for
sure.
Ricoh to start saying, "Hey, this is how great our year was."
Now, here's the thing. This reiterates the successful part of it.
Yes.
I had a conversation with someone, and they said, "Well, I'm wondering how this is going to affect the film industry."
How would it? How would more film cameras affect the film industry?
No, how would the Pentax 17 affect the film industry?
Okay.
The creation of 18 exposure rolls. Two companies came out with
18 half,
no,
18
full frame exposures.
But they would be 18 for normal, but
36
18 times
exposures
2 is 36 for a half frame
for
camera.
a frame camera. So how did this affect the film industry? It has two companies making it a lower number of frames
Right.
to accommodate the Pentax 17. Now, how else will we know about the success of how this has changed the industry? By the photo labs.
Yes.
The photo labs have been stating, I have talked to 3 different photo labs that have all stated the same thing. Man, we're getting all of these
damn half-frame rolls in here.
It's so much
driving us crazy.
Because it's not the developing, that's fine. What's driving them crazy is the scanning 72 different individual things on one roll. It takes a lot longer
I thought they were
time.
still scanning 2 together.
No, well, a lot of the customers are saying, hey,
they want them split.
And individually. And
I would say something like that.
And it would, and they are charging more for that. So what you do save in like the film and the cost, but are you saving enough for that? But if you do this roll right here and you only have 36, then will they reduce that? And then will it go back to being a normal scanning price?
So that's Apollo 18.
Apollo 18.
And I don't see a Mercury capsule on there anywhere. Or
I know, I don't
There's no
either.
rocket, there's no moon in it.
False advertising? I don't know. Or maybe it's the Greek god Apollo.
Well, I'm pretty sure it is, but you realize in the history of going to the moon, we stopped at Apollo 17.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
This is flick film.
I can't help
Ultrapan.
that they're not stealing a little bit from NASA with Apollo 18.
No, it's just 18 is the number of frames. Flick film, Ultrapan, 18.
I know, another coincidence.
The new. There's conspiracies in all of this, man. All of it, and that's another video. But we'll have
another conspiracy.
So this has not only been successful in the sales of the product, it has been successful in changing the industry.
Yes, shorter rolls. I don't remember the last time I had a shorter roll.
Anything below 24. I mean,
24. Oh, dude.
Nobody's making 12 exposure rolls anymore.
Nobody's making 12 exposures.
So this is the first film below 24.
Which would be 24 half frame.
Yeah. Well, no, 24 would be 48. So
No, but 12 times 2 would be 48.
Okay. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Okay.
But nobody's making 12
Right.
exposure
That's
rolls.
the shortest roll I've seen in forever.
And that's how the half frame has changed the industry. All of this is how everything's affecting everything, and it's spread throughout. So has it affected? Yes, it has. Affected. I'm sure, I know somebody's out there going, it's an A, it's an E. No, it's this or that.
I don't. Yeah.
It's changed the industry. So now we have this. March. Here's where we start going, uh-oh.
Okay, St. Patrick's Day. This year.
This year.
On
the business side, the contribution of film cameras has been smaller than GR business. It's not the same size as GR. So what are they doing? They have a brand new film camera out, which they're spent months talking about how it's causing them to redo everything, to now saying, well, our digital cameras, we still make more digital cameras than this.
Way more. You're right. Yeah, they do.
So they're downplaying the success of it.
Yes. It was too successful, but now it's not successful.
Now they're saying, oh, well, this is a small part, and this is not as big as the digital size.
Not as big as it was previously reported.
This doesn't automatically rule out future film models.
Oh, whew, thank goodness.
Well, but the whole question is, why would you have to say that?
I know. That's suspicious.
It is. It's like, it's like, hey, wait. Yeah, this isn't successful as this, but it doesn't mean we're not going to be you're not going to be making, why are you throwing that thought out there? We're not going to be making future film cameras.
Right.
Why even
say that if you shouldn't say that? But they said it, and that's suspicious.
So the person who said this was...
That's actually not my red flag, but we'll get to my red flag. But I can see where you're at on that.
Yeah. S-A-I-K-I. Psyche? Psyche?
Oh, is this a name?
This is a name. It's just S-A-I-K-I. Psyche?
Psyche.
And this person is like a higher up.
Saiki-san.
Very high up.
I'm assuming they're Japanese.
Very high up on the board.
Right.
I mean, way above TKO.
Oh.
If we can generate more interest in film photography,
which I thought they had done.
They just spent 8 months trying to catch up with the demand.
Was I missing something?
Yeah, what happened? Where did the train go off the rails?
Yeah.
So, if we can generate more interest in film photography, we can consider how we could make a product group. Okay. Now is not the time to consider that.
Please consider.
Though, because we have only just released the first film camera in 15 years, we need time to communicate with our users and find out what they appreciate or were disappointed by.
Ooh, a survey.
We need sufficient time to evaluate the usage of Pentax 17. So it's not the popularity, it's not the change in everything, the usage of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I understand that one because oftentimes when you create a product and you think it's great for X, Y, and Z, but then you give it to the public and you find out they don't use it that way at all.
It's not that. That's not the issue. That's not the problem.
They might not be using it as a camera.
But okay, that is the second. That's the second path that led me into kind of going, what's
the 25th or
3/25/2025.
Oh, that's this week.
A few days ago.
Yeah.
Or last week, depending on when this thing comes out, because this thing is so important. I think we need to get this video out quicker because everybody else is. By the time this thing comes,
he wants a assistant producer credit. Now he wants to kick the person in the butt for editing to get it out quicker.
Well, yeah, because by the time this comes out, everybody else is going to be saying it, and then everybody's going to look at it and go, "Oh, well, he's just copying everybody else." No.
One of us has a life.
Well, you didn't find this in it.
Wait, hold a second. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. You didn't find this, but who's the one that came in and told you this?
No, the reason for it.
Who brought this news to you?
Yep.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
Here we go.
Uh-huh.
The Pentax 17 was the first Pentax film camera in nearly 20 years.
Yep.
And was one of the most anticipated camera releases of the year.
Yes.
That's exciting. That's good. It
is exciting.
Yay.
It's exciting.
In the run-up to its release, Ricoh Imaging had said that it was investigating a raft of camera releases that could include a film SLR in due course. We're back to the rah-rah, yes.
Film SLR,
Yay.
Changeable lenses,
but
flipping up a mirror, all that kind of great stuff.
Yeah. So when this thing first came out, it's look, this is the first of many things that can happen. And now it's like, well,
maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. All right. The Pentax 17 was an important product to reintroducing film photography under the Pentax banner, reflecting the renewed interest among younger generations. Utes. This was the first point that made me go, that's the first time I've heard this phrasing.
The younger generation?
We received a phenomenal response from the film community and remain focused on inspiring photographers worldwide to shoot film.
Okay.
But
there was a but in there?
There's a but in there.
But?
They go back to on the business side, film cameras currently play a smaller role than our established GR line. So why are they bringing that back up again? Excitement, tamper the excitement down.
Once again,
tamper it
it's
down.
a tiny portion of our business. I don't know what the G stands for, but the R is obviously Ricoh. So,
yeah, I don't know.
So tiny bit of their business. It's huge success, tiny bit of our
business.
business.
Then why make it in the first place? If I mean, that's the whole question.
I mean, and I think you're onto a point. And you said this was going to be a conversation. It's going to take a while, right? So, I mean, that violates the 80-20 rule, does it not? Because you shouldn't. 20%, 80% comes from 20%. Okay, so why are you focusing on this tiny little portion if it doesn't bring you, if it's not part of that 80%?
Well, because 80% brings 20, and you got to have the 80%. Because if it's just all 20%, then 20% of that, 20,
right,
20%
of what you do is going to bring 80% of your business.
That's the 80-20 rule.
So
if you get away with the rest, if you get the small stuff out of the way,
if this point is so small, it's not part of the 20. Then why are you?
Why get into this?
Which is the question that they did for Fujifilm and the peel aparts and all that kind of good stuff. We're making so much money with the Instax, we're not making as much money with the peel aparts. Peel aparts went away, and Todd and Mr. Holga are sad.
Well, a lot of people are. A lot of people are.
All right, please continue.
Yeah, because this is our first new film camera in more than 15 years. We need time to gather feedback, meet with customers, and learn what they appreciate. Again, we're hearing this again.
It's good.
It's good. It rocks. But that's not what they're wanting. Or felt was missing before making decisions to film projects. So while TK played a significant role in the Pentax Film Project, his departure...
TKO.
TKO, which it says right there.
Which essentially, in America, means knockout. He's a knockout of a lead designer.
Oh, he was. I mean, because he was involved with a lot of the GR digital designs.
Yeah.
So he's the king of the hill.
Floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee.
Yeah, and we got pictures to prove it.
Yeah.
On film. His departure does not affect the possibility, not the future of film cameras, the possibility of film cameras. Why use that word?
Once again, yes.
It causes doubt in the mind.
So much doubt.
Yeah. Rather, we are continuing to evaluate the Pentax 17's reception and considering how it may set the direction for our long-term approach to film photography. So you kind of ask, you got to ask, what was your direction?
Yeah.
It's success, but we're going to get to that.
Okay.
This is the whole kicker part. All right. We appreciate your continued interest, and we'll share more details as soon as they become available. So we've got this going on. Let's see here. Okay, YouTube, blah, blah, blah.
By the way, guys, these articles I'm going to share in the description below. So if you want to click on them and go view them yourself, they'll certainly be there.
So this is the last one. This is where
it all comes together.
It all comes together. So right now, what do you think about what's going on and what we've read?
Well, yes, the red flag keeps being is that they keep throwing up. It's like it's highly successful, but we need to evaluate it. And it's like
possible.
Do you really?
And it's not to evaluate it.
We can't make enough to keep them off the shelf, so we don't know if people really know if people really want these.
So that exactly, it's like, okay, it's successful. We're trying to figure out how to put more money into it.
Yeah.
We're trying to get it out there for the customers.
Yes.
There's a possible future for film cameras.
Possible. Maybe people want to continue shooting film. Maybe.
It's not as big as our GR line. It's possible to make film cameras.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the sad part. I don't know of any Ricoh cameras. I've never shot a Ricoh digital camera. I know they're probably out there. Maybe they're only sold in Japan and China for all I know.
They're very popular here in the U.S.
I have never owned a Ricoh camera, but I own a Pentax.
Well, you know Pentax. But the whole thing, and there are actually GR film cameras.
Sure. I'm sure there are.
And used, in today's used market, they're not $900.
Oh yeah, good ones.
Way more than like I think they were new.
Well, because you can't get them anymore.
Can't get them anymore.
And now, are these those like the ones where they do the extra, the panoramic cameras and all that kind of good stuff?
These are like really top-notched point-and-shoot cameras.
Okay.
I mean, I wish I had known about them because I would have bought them and sold them.
Yeah, maybe I'm missing out on something here.
There really are. The GR film cameras that are compact point-and-shoots,
Okay.
they seem beautiful on design. And like everything else Pentax does with that, they're beautiful.
But, you know, they're at least 20 years old now.
They're old, yeah.
Or more.
Or more. And what's interesting is, maybe it'll talk about it in here, but if they don't, I'll just go ahead and talk about it a little bit here. And they said when they first got into this, they were trying to determine that there was a big used market out there. Oh, I think they'll talk about this and this. And this is another thing which is kind of an odd red flag.
So many red flags.
Well,
guys.
Okay, I want to kind of go all through this, and then we can have a discussion kind of about this.
Sure.
But this is where I wish we kind of had a live audience because we could get some feedback. Now, the next thing.
I don't need the audience throwing stuff at us. Really, I don't.
Petapixel, March 26th, 2025.
Okay.
It might be a while before Pentax makes another film camera.
Yes, that's the sad.
Possibly.
But we don't know.
We don't know.
It could already be in the pipeline. You don't know.
Starts off with the great thing. Now, this is the whole, again, it's confusing.
Once again, great camera.
Well, it's a beautiful
Exceeded
camera.
expectations.
When Ricoh announced the Pentax 17, the response was overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, that's what I said. Exceeded expectations.
With the new film camera, floodgates suddenly open. Ricoh suddenly found fans of analog begging it for more.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we both said when it came out, can't wait to see the next one.
Can't wait to see the next one.
Cannot wait to see
Then
the
this
next
thing is
one.
beautiful. And I'm selling these things. I'm actually selling. I'm selling a lot more of them. That's for sure. But here we go. Now I think this is where we start getting into the Again, this Petapex from Petapixel.
Yes.
Okay. Let's just go. Even after deciding that it wanted to launch a new film camera in 2024, Ricoh Pentax spent a long time deciding what kind of film camera it would be that would attract a new audience of users while also being something different than the large number of cameras that exist in the used market. Now, that was the key thing. That would attract a new audience of users.
Okay.
That was their target goal.
Well, yeah, and I understand that one. So the ultimate question is these Utes, the ones that are now shooting film. Thank you, by the way. The ones that are shooting film, are they more interested in shooting SLRs, or are they more interested in shooting point and shoots? Which essentially, this is essentially a point and shoot camera.
That is.
So, I guess their gamble was the point and shoot versus the SLR.
The whole thing is this was made for the young audience that shoots instant film.
Okay.
Not for the existing audience.
Right.
The success of this whole thing.
So they're trying to take away from Instax.
No. They're trying to go, they're not taking away from Instax. Fuji Instax is their company. It's the same thing. Fuji. They're trying to take Ricoh. Sorry.
This is Ricoh.
They're not taking away. They're trying to get into that market.
Right. No, I understand. But there's only so many dollars out there for entertainment and things like that. And so it's like if you can steal a little bit from Instax and come buy a film camera, sure.
Here we go. But before we released the Pentax 17, of course, we had very carefully studied the possible demand because no film camera had been released for 15 to 20 years. So this was a new challenge, not only for Ricoh, but also for the industry. So they were sitting there looking at it, and they said, well, this is a challenge. We're going to do it. The demand off the charts.
Right.
So you're thinking that there wouldn't be any hesitation in creating something new.
Yeah.
It would be, let's see what we do next, not let's see if we possibly do something. let's see what we're going to do.
Right. I mean, up to that point, we kept getting a bunch of what we call disposable reusables. They're lower than I would even consider the Holga, because they're just really cheap plastic cameras that they threw a door on the back of them so you could change the film out. They were not very great cameras, and they used all that borrowed technology and things like that. But this camera was something so much better, so much more solid, and people are like, oh, this feels like a piece of quality, and it takes better pictures, and it's like, well, why not? You know.
Well, this was the first camera. This is what they consider as the first return of a brand new camera.
Yeah.
Now, in the past, the M6 went away.
Yeah.
It came back. It wasn't a new camera.
The Leica M6.
It was a return of a camera that had already existed.
Yeah, they did like, what, 500?
They do them in batches of 500.
They do batches of 500. As a matter of fact, that was so successful, I think they did a second 500 batch, if I'm not mistaken.
They're not stopping it. It was going to be a one-time 500 thing.
So for all those people who's like, oh, my M6 was great, it's like, well, they still make them.
They still make them.
Go get one.
Go get one.
They're not cheap, but go get one.
And there's not the price is not that's going for a completely, of course, different market. But
yeah, I think
the price is not
$5,000 to $6,000 for an
just
M6
under $6,000
without the lens.
Yeah.
So
it is, but that's not a brand new. It's a return.
Yeah, it's a returned product.
The 17 is considered the first return of a film camera.
Yeah.
This is the first one out there. So that's that. Now, modern photographers might be surprised to hear that a new film camera sold well enough to warrant the years of developing time. Again, positive.
Yes.
And the Saiki, I apologize for that. But
Saiki-san.
Confirms that Ricoh considers Pentax 17 as a success in the branding and positioning of Pentax. Okay, so he comes back with it's a success for us. Mm-hmm. But we may not possibly do future film cameras. Now,
on one hand, you say something really nice. On the other hand, you shoot us in the foot for every time.
I had a girlfriend like that once. It's something that is
you're really handsome.
Yeah, but
except for your jokes are horrible.
Yeah, well, I did have that.
Oh, that hurts.
We haven't expected a huge number of sales of the Pentax 17 from the very beginning of the project. Okay, they made the product. They weren't expecting a huge number of sales.
Okay.
They got a big number of sales, so much so they were considering planning on how do we invest more to get more.
Yeah, do you need more tooling? Do you need more machines? Do you need to hire more people?
This is conflicting. The number of cameras produced, it's kind of a niche number. Why were you doing it? It's like, okay. Again, you're having a successful event, and then you're talking about, it's a niche, it's this, it's small, so why did you do it then? If you're downplaying it.
Well, once again, the 80-20 rule. Why are you doing it? If this is outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it? Why take that risk? Now I understand Leica, because they themselves, they're not producing 100,000 cameras. Okay, no. That's never Leica's goal. They want to produce a small amount of quality cameras, and they're all about a quality brand.
This is
different.
Different things, different everything.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is the kicker.
The kicker.
But to be frank, I'll be frank if you're earnest. The reaction was more than we expected.
All right, so they were caught off guard by success.
Again.
This is breaking my heart.
This is okay. Do you not see the dichotomy of this was very successful, but it's not, a big market. It's not this. They're squashing down the tempering the future thought of it. It's kind of a what? Okay. Now, here we go. Still, the amount of work that goes into making a new film camera is substantial, and Ricoh is focused on delivering a product that gives the photographer something different than what can be found on the market already. Well, we already know there's half frames out there. There's the Olympus pen. So
yeah, but there's no new Olympus
There's no
pens.
new ones.
There's no new ones.
There's no new anything.
No, that's the problem.
That's the first one. All right.
Which I guess the question is, how old is the Olympus pen? I mean, that's at least 30 years old, is it not? Or you know, I mean, since they started making it.
70s. They came out in the 60s and 70s.
So, I mean, an Olympus pen is 40 to 50 years old.
So many Pentax film cameras already exist on the secondhand market, and it did not seem as though Ricoh was keen on selling a product that would directly compete with something that already exists. It's not competing with used cameras.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, there is a big, huge camera market, and there are people trying to revive them all the time.
There's only a used camera market because there's such an interest in it.
Yes.
Okay, if you give the customer something new, then the used market would not be as important. And it's like, are you making, okay, for every Pentax being sold out there on the used market, does Pentax make a penny from it? Somebody comes in here and buys a Pentax camera from me.
No. If somebody buys my Pentax 17 from them, Pentax makes no dimes from it. Nothing.
Doesn't make a penny for them. So they're not going to take, no money's being taken away from them with the used market.
Right.
When you have the Pentax 17 and I sell them, money goes into their pocket. There's not really a competition because the used market exists because of the interest in film.
Well, and I get your point there. So it kind of makes me wonder if Nikon and Canon were still making film SLR cameras, how much would that eat against the used market out there? I mean, all those used cameras that are 50 years old. If I could buy myself a brand new Nikon F3, if I could buy a brand new F3 today, would I take a chance on buying one that's 50,
off of eBay,
30 years old off of eBay? It's like, I mean, sure, it might. Let's say if it cost me $100 more, it's like, okay, well, that $100 is like peace of mind.
A new Nikon would be over $1,000 probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
But still, there's a certain degree of peace of mind and a warranty, and that's what Pentax was giving us here, right?
Oh,
it was a brand new camera. It was a warranty.
Did I not read? I read that earlier. Yeah, it's like we want to give the customers the peace of mind about the product, and it's like, they hit it again. Going into this, their concept was dead on. Their product was amazing. Their research into it and the understanding of a demand for something new was spot on. Everything leading up to all of this was perfect. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, actually, I wouldn't say perfect. It was far better than than they were expecting. I knew that this thing would be a big hit, and it's like I got a bunch of them when it first came out because I knew that people who sat there and go, "It's a half frame, and it's $500, it's expensive." All of the negatives that we heard.
Yeah.
Before it came out, I knew that was going to eventually be, hey, all of my fears are gone.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it in the previous article, but you're almost to the point where you're going to mention it again in this article.
Yeah.
And when we get to that red flag, that's where I have my conspiracy theory.
All right. Well, let me see here. Okay. Okay. And there is a lot of work that goes into doing this, but if that was the issue, why did you get into it to begin with?
Right.
You know, I mean, that's something that you knew going into, and it didn't stop you because you were dead on with everything else about the research into this.
Right.
And the guys, the product's amazing. And I'm going to say this right now.
Could you?
I am, baby. Get up there on that soapbox. People, buy this camera now. Buy this camera now for this reason. If they do cut back on making these things are going to be $1,000 on the used market. And you sit there and go,
true, yeah.
And I'm sitting there going,
let's say they stop producing it.
If this thing just stops being produced, how do we know this? Because when this thing first came out, people who bought them and paid $500 were turning around and selling them on the internet for $700.
Right,
and people were
profit.
Buying it for $700. If this thing is being sold for $700
while it's being produced,
while it's being in production,
it's
not now. I mean, there's enough products out there,
right?
But if
they were to stop production, I see where you're going.
This thing is
$1,000 go through the roof.
So buy these things now, people. Yeah. If you're sitting there thinking about it, going, well, I don't know.
He has a couple in the store. So
I do. Well, I know. I got
stuff, so.
4 in, one's gone, and one's already.
But that's okay. But if you want
I
one,
got
he can
2
hook you up. He knows
right
somebody.
now, and then I can.
He's a Pentax a dealer, by the way, an official Pentax.
So I'm thinking about this, and they're sort of going, okay, what? Get the name straight.
Speaking of which, we're going to be hearing from Pentax.
No, I mean, listen, we got nothing to say but great things about them.
That's true. They've done
nothing.
Pentax. You've done
Wonderful
a phenomenal
product.
job.
Wonderful thoughts. I keep telling people every time I look at this thing and every time I think this thing through, they did so much research that it goes right down the, right down the list.
It checks all the boxes.
It checks all boxes that people don't even think to ask until they're shooting it. Mm-hmm. It checks it. I mean, this thing is, the thought behind this thing was amazing.
Yeah.
And, to me, it's not just the design, it's the use of it, how it's used, it's the thoughts that it's everything about it is beautiful. And people go, man, are you just trying to sell it? No.
No.
I really love this product.
It is a nice camera, yeah.
I do. I do not get excited about other things.
And we were so looking forward to the next camera.
The next camera. And I think that maybe, that's one thought about it, which is if people are looking forward to the next camera, they may slow down buying this camera. And I am thinking, don't.
Well, that's true, but you haven't come to my red flag yet.
Okay,
so let's work there because I have a theory.
Nothing but good things to say about this thing. Nothing to say about good things to say about the company. I was a Pentax dealer years ago.
Good vibrations, guys.
Yeah.
Good vibrations.
And if I'd known they had the GR film cameras, I would have bought them. So, already marked Pentax. It hasn't been very long since the release of the Pentax 17.
Right.
We have to approach users to hear what is their opinion, or in other words, what do we do to make it more attractive to our film users?
Right.
So it might take time before we make another film camera. Now, that is interesting. I mean, I in a way, I see kind of understanding where this is going.
Right.
Because they didn't hit their target market, they hit a different market, and it was very successful. So they were aiming this direction, they hit that direction, and so they're going, okay, why did we miss the target? We were successful, but it wasn't where we planned to be.
Uh-huh.
So they're going to have to go out, do some discussion, do some talking, and that's the one thing I can see and understand about this. But it doesn't sit there and make you go, okay, well, we may possibly make future cameras. It's just like, well, this is going to help us determine what direction we are going to take for future film cameras.
Okay.
That maybe I'm getting obsessed over a usage of the words that's being chosen.
Maybe it's a bad translation.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm up on my soapbox. I'm not getting dial until I finish. Fujifilm or Polaroid instant cameras.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
That's it. That's a type of film, right? A type, but not the type.
Yeah.
It's A type. And for that kind of product, a lot of the younger generation has reacted to it. We haven't seen that kind of number of sales, okay, then in parentheses, number of sales of our film products, but we want to have the core user in that new generation. So we still have to make Pentax 17 more appealing to them. That's the reason why this whole thing's going on.
I'm sorry, did you just say that the Pentax 17 wasn't appealing to me, the older generation?
No, they're saying you weren't the target market.
I wasn't the target, but I'm the one who bought it?
Yep. And you're the one that made it successful.
I single-handedly made it successful. I like that.
Yep, your market, your market did.
The hipster market, the hipster film market made it popular.
Are you young enough to be a hipster, though?
No, I'm not. But
okay.
But still,
we can dream. But
for the point of this discussion, yes, I will say yes. I am.
This is the part to where I went, oh, this explains everything. This is what took me 2 or 3.
They let the cat out of the bag.
They let the cat out of the bag. Well, I'm going to reread this again. Okay?
All right, go for it.
Like Fujifilm or Polaroid instant film cameras. Now, there's a lot of things in which this thing right here then set off alarms with me about.
Okay.
like Fujifilm or Polaroid instant cameras. How much are those things? A couple of $100?
Not very much.
Not very much.
I think an Instax camera's what, $100?
I think more than that. I don't know. But
they're not above $200.
well, brand new. I'm saying new.
I understand.
They're more than 100.
I didn't think they were. The Instax minis, not very expensive.
No, those aren't. The
Instax minis are not expensive.
The majority of them, I think, are under 200, maybe one over 200.
A box of film is $10.
Now the I-type film, maybe the I-type cameras.
Polaroid more expensive.
Polaroid's more expensive.
See, I don't know what the I-type cameras cost. I don't
either because anyway, we're going to talk about that. That's a different conversation. That type of film, and for that kind of product, a lot of the young generation has reacted to it. Utes, and they're correct about the Instax, but. Okay.
And it has another thought. Are you going to...
Do you know why? This is my opinion. Opinion only. Do you know why the Instax did so well?
Because it worked better than the Polaroids?
It hit the target market, but here's the thing.
Okay.
The story that I read and heard was that they're sitting around their table going, hey, let's look over last year's number. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, where did all this money come from? Let's look through it. Let's look. Oh, that came from Instax Film.
Okay. Yeah.
Who's in charge of that department? No one. Nope. No one. Well, let's put somebody over that.
All right.
It was successful. Maybe because nobody got in its way.
Oh, I see.
It didn't have somebody up there going, well, that's more than our expectations, but let's temper the future of it. It ran hog wild.
Yeah.
And nobody was in charge of it.
Probably somebody was in charge of it.
Of making it,
you know.
but not marketing it.
Marketing it, okay.
Somebody famous took. Now, dude, all Pentax is away from being that is getting some 20-something-year-old got caught using this, shooting it. And then all of a sudden, those hundreds of thousands of their followers are going to be clamoring to buy this thing.
Yeah. If only some young influencer.
You get one young influencer popping this thing off, going, "Hey, look, I've got Apollo 18 in this thing, and I'm shooting 36 half-frame photos. Shoot it, show it," and all of a sudden everybody's going, their market's hit.
Are the Kardashians too old to be called young anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are. I don't think the teens are their target market. I think with all of the sex tapes that came out, they overshot that market.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Thank you for bringing me back down to earth.
Sorry. But maybe it's...
I was having an OJ moment. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. It was just, whoops, sorry. But yes, okay. In fact, Instax became hot whenever somebody in the industry, a singer, I think, had it and was shooting it and showing it, and then all of a sudden...
at the time, that was Taylor Swift, but I thought she was shooting Polaroid.
That's Polaroid.
But that was Polaroid when they really sucked.
Well, yeah.
I think she was showing she was showing Polaroids from her youth.
Let's stop using that name. Let's stop using
what?
The P word.
The P word.
The Instax, well, somebody did the Instax too.
Okay.
And that, I think, is what that took off.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, and I mean, it was insanely wild in Japan.
Well, but the Instax worked better than the competitor.
Yes, and it was, but anyway, it was an influencer.
It still, I think, works better than the competitor. So
it wasn't. Let's just say it wasn't Fuji's marketing that hit the target.
Yeah.
You know, and here they're going, well, we're going to have to study. And it's like, no, don't. You nailed the product. Find an influencer to hit that younger market.
Right.
And then just sit back and make more.
Okay.
But if they don't, then buy it now because it's going to be $1,000 camera later.
Now, yeah, he's said things like this before. Like in the last video, you said 220 film is back. You need to be getting those back. You need to start buying those film backs
while they're cheap.
While they're cheap. Now we haven't. It's only been a week, so we haven't seen if the prices have gone up. However,
that's going to be a slow burn.
You have to take at least a few suggestions from a person who's been in the business. How long?
20.
Almost 28 years.
Yeah. 2 months, it'll be 28 years.
Dangerously close.
A month and a half.
Yeah.
Which only puts us like really close to Holga Week. By the time we do that, it's like Holga Week's a sneeze away.
Right.
Now, I'm just saying maybe I'm too far ahead on that curve too. Because, I mean, it's like now it's like really the time to get in on it.
Okay.
Later it's going to start going up, and then you're going to go, I wish I'd listened. So we still have to make the Pentax 17 more appealing to them.
Yeah.
Now, Ricoh wants to boost the popularity of its Pentax 17 among that target demographic before it delves too deep into expanding its analog ambitions further. And that will take time, not if you get an influencer to push it, to somehow get caught taking pictures with the Pentax 17, showing the photos on their Instagram account.
Maybe
that is all the marketing
maybe they don't have
need.
TikTok in Japan.
It may be even longer now that the lead designer of, turn page,
Please.
The Pentax 17 leaving Ricoh.
Right. And that's my red flag.
Ricoh. Yeah.
However, does it say why in this one? Maybe it said in the last one.
However, the company did say that while TKO played a significant role in the Pentax Film Project, his departure does not affect the possibility of future film. Again, that word. Possibility of future film models. That's the end.
Now, I've read a few press releases in my life, okay? And I've also read a few exiting emails from people in corporations before. And I'm going to say right now, I'm going to take a break to spend more time with my family. Does not mean that it means you had a disagreement with the business, and you said I am so out of here.
No, what in business wise, we have created differences. In politicians, when a congressperson says, "I want to spend more time with my family," that means they're leaving before they get caught. It's context there, and I really do think he has been spending TKO has spent a lot of time doing designs for the digital, which they have. Their digital cameras are very popular, and they have the same issue of keeping them in stock because they sell out so quick, as the Pentax 17 is having. But the digital is hitting its target market. This one didn't. And that is the whole crux of
So you're saying the issue is that it because it didn't hit the kids, the youths, and it was like snapped up by adults, that the company's looking at this like it was a failure?
Yes.
Interesting.
And why it may be the death of future film cameras.
Future film cameras, because the kids didn't pick it up and run with it.
Mm-hmm. If they don't get the kids in with it, it sounds like they're saying, okay.
Yeah, and I've always hated that. What is it? They said the 18 to 40-year-olds, or what's the TV demographic? They always say
whenever I passed it, I laughed.
If you don't fall into that 18 to 50-year-olds, if you don't fall in that demographic, we don't care about you. And it's like, well, I'm older than that demographic, and I have way much more money than they do. So
true. But
I mean, I can buy a Pentax 17 without blinking. Now, an 18-year-old probably is like, I gotta save a little while for this.
No, but you're missing the point.
I miss lots of points.
Yes, and this point is that if they catch the younger generation buying this product, that name's going to be.
Well, I understand brand loyalty. I'm all about brand loyalty.
They're creating a future brand loyal customer.
Yes, and I agree with that.
And
that's why I shoot Nikon.
And when that teen reaches the age of you and have kids, they're going to pass it down to their kids.
I shoot Nikon because I like the brand. I shoot Pentax because I shoot Holga. I love the brand.
Yeah.
That I understand the brand loyalty. I'm with it. Mind you, brand loyalty is a fragile thing because it only takes one thing to rock that boat. Mm-hmm. I mean, but I guess I don't see why it's a failure. You didn't attract as many kids, but then the question is, I mean, if you only built this for kids, then
the price is a little too high.
Well, I think one, the price is too high.
And
Two,
honestly, okay, if this, okay, but again, we're not criticizing the camera. We're just kind of I'm trying to understand the concept, because this thing's perfect. I mean, I really haven't found a flaw with it yet.
I understand, but no, we were just talking about.
This was not aimed for a kid.
No, I understand. You're right.
It's
So
way
if
over
this
a
was
kid.
the Instax camera, the Instax mini camera,
Yeah.
and I was aiming it to sell it to kids, it would be pink with Hello Kitty on it. Okay, no, I'm serious.
No,
okay,
I
this
agree.
looks
I
like
agree.
a camera. This looks like a semi-professional looking camera. But you don't have it in pink and blue and things like that. You don't have it in cool colors that the kids are going to say, "Oh, this is awesome. I need this." You don't. It doesn't match my Converse sneakers. I mean, that's the type of thing that would make it attractive to the kids.
It's not shallow enough. Is that what you're saying?
Listen.
Did I just put words in it?
Apple is
you're trying to avoid.
Apple has been doing this. Remember, they first came out with the iMac.
Yep.
And everybody said, "Oh, this is great." But now iMac was essentially it was a CRT.
Mm-hmm.
It was essentially beige and it had some clear green on it. It's like that was great. The improvement the next year was it came in many different colors. Okay. And then everybody really went wild. Oh, there was tangerine and there's cranberry and all that. It's like, well, look, this looks like your mom and dad's old boring camera right now.
No,
okay?
no.
No, from you and I.
Cover your ears. He didn't
You and
mean
I
it.
think
that
that looks
mean.
This looks awesome. But I'm
This
saying
is
the kids are
amazing.
looking at that thinking,
No.
what is this?
No, the kids. Everybody that comes in here looks at it and goes, "Wow, that's cool."
So I mean, I can understand if you missed the mark on the Utes because you made mom and dad's camera when you didn't make the kids' camera.
Is there film in here? Yeah, there is. 16.
Would there? Well,
Yeah.
you could always do my
know.
little test, which says yes, there is film in here.
Oh, okay. I looked right here. It says 16.
Okay, well.
It's easier.
I don't know. Maybe it automatically goes to Pentax 17 when it's.
All right. So now, bottom line is, I hope we haven't upset Pentax with anything of this, because, guys, I love you. I mean, I was
no, it's a phenomenal camera.
The first camera company I was a dealer for was Pentax, and I sold the 645Ns.
Yeah.
Love that camera. It was an amazing camera. I became a dealer again because of this camera. I love Pentax, love the cameras, love the product, love the mindset, love everything about it.
All right.
Do you think I like it?
You do like it.
Okay. Now, but man, this is a little too nice for the youth market.
And I think $500 is too much for the youth market. So
yeah.
So you think its success was its own demise because its success was with the wrong people.
Crowd. It missed their target. It hit a different target, which made it hugely successful.
I can agree with this.
All right. Now, do you understand my title for this?
What was the title again?
It's Will Pentax 17 Kill the Future Film Camera Market?
That's a little wordy. I'm going to have to wordsmith that one, but I understand.
The concept. The concept of it.
No, I understand it.
Would that be a tragedy to the film community if that were to happen?
I
don't know. I mean, because if other companies are looking and saying, "Hey, we're going to make a Canon product, but only the old people with money are going to buy it."
But I think that's the ultimate question: is is the film photography market only kids? Clearly, I'm here.
No.
Everybody who was in your store was probably at least late 30s and 40s. I mean, it's like, so I think you're looking at the wrong demographic.
Well, yeah. But also, whenever this whole thing started off back in 2016, when the hipsters started picking up film, they found these cameras in their parents' belongings and pulled them out of storage to start this whole revitalization of the film industry.
Yeah, what's new is old, what's old is new.
Nobody was sitting in 2011 into 16 when that hipster group was bringing everything back for those 5 years and coming out with new cameras. Nobody was coming out.
Nobody was touching it
with new film. Nobody was coming out with anything new that I am aware of in the market.
New record players.
But when do they come out? Yeah.
But it did take quite some time for new record players to actually come out, where you could actually play the vinyl again.
Yes.
And then, you know, once the new record players came out, more artists started printing more vinyl. As you know, Taylor Swift, Adele, all of them. They not only do they launch their stuff out, they put it on vinyl as well right now.
Yeah, and the vinyl is outselling the CDs.
Vinyl is outselling CDs. I love that. And
it's insane. But the vinyls did not come out aimed at it was drawn out from it. And so they didn't make the vinyl records to get the new market.
Right.
It got them.
All right. As much as I love the fact that what Pentax has done here, I'm really surprised that somebody like Kodak hasn't taken a page out of this book and said, you know what, we just need to create our own camera.
Yeah. Or
not a point and reusable, disposable, but an actual camera again.
It's not like they haven't made them before.
I know. It's like they have plans or something sitting around.
But okay, first and foremost, this is where we really, I think, and I am hoping that this whole conversation that we have had, are you listening to me talk?
I have been listening to him talk.
This is probably one of the least you've ever talked in a video at this point, isn't it?
I'm going to have to make myself the second credit on this one. So,
but I hope that you, the watcher, the viewer, will give your comments about this. Do you think I'm just crazy, BS crazy, or is this or does that not matter? I mean, yes, I am, but I still have a point.
You're crazy, and you have a point.
And I have a point. So I want to hear your thoughts on this.
The crazy one seems to have a point there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, are we crazy? Does that make us nuts? But do you see how I went through this step by step? Do you see how I reached this conclusion and how I came up with this concept?
I followed you along here, and I'm with you on this one. But you know what? I unfortunately come to the end conclusion. I would really hate for this to be the end of future film cameras, because I think it is much needed.
It would be a disaster if that were to help. Now, again, I would love to extend this invitation out to the people in Pentax. You say you want to come out and study the market.
You think they watched all the way to the end of this video?
No. I don't. I think they're throwing eggs at it at this point.
Okay.
Stop it. But if you do get to the end of this and you do reach this point and you come in and you say, we want to study the market, we want to go out and talk to the people, come to the DFW area and talk to the people who are buying your product. And talk to the people
focus group
who you want to reach. Because DFW, a guy told me this the other day, and this was about something else completely different, but he said the DFW area, the people, is like the second largest metroplex area in size and population than in the U.S. The second largest, the DFW and mid-cities area.
Right.
Is like the second largest in the U.S. For some reason, when companies always come to the U.S., where do they go? New York, L.A.
Yeah,
New York, L.A.
Pretty much.
New York, L.A.
We're a flyover state. But,
we are.
But you can't drive over it in a day, but you have to fly over it no time flat.
Yep. But DFW Airport is here.
Oh.
Yeah, you can fly into there. It's an international airport. Come and visit DFW area.
You can get Cowboys gear half off.
Mm-hmm. And
swag.
But come to the DFW area, and we will get people together, and you can talk to them. You can ask questions. You can just see what hit, what missed. All of that research that you want to do and talk to the people about, we offer our services to you for that.
Yeah.
I am invested in film. I mean, not because I want to be, because I love the concept and everything about it. It's important to a society to archive what they do. Film does it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that has a little something to what I said. I was buying something to a secret.
All right.
No.
Later.
When I show it to you, you'll be like, he gets it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I think we need to wrap this up, right?
Yep. Yes. We do.
All right, guys.
Yes. Now, remember, beautiful, wonderful product. Buy it now because...
I don't know, if it was in Hello Kitty pink.
Yes. True.
All right, guys. With that, please do share, like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell it two friends.
Oh, man. Come on.
You're not doing that. You haven't. Hey,
tell everybody.
You haven't finished the
man,
the outro.
Man, I'm already. It's like
He's already left.
Elvis has left the building.